Not only is it good for reducing discomfort and pain, but it also increases the pleasure, especially for the men. It just drives them out of their head. Hi friends, welcome to Spice Up Your Intimacy. So on today's video, I'm going to be giving you 10 tips on how you can avoid discomfort or pain during sexual intercourse. Of course, I do understand that this kind of discomfort or pain can vary from woman to woman, and everybody's situation is unique. I want to give you 10 tips that could help. Maybe one can help, maybe two, maybe three, and these are in no particular order. Some of these may sound a little bit extreme, but I did my research. I thought it is good to give you all the options that are there. You may decide to try 2 or 3 of them. Whatever works will work. Some of these are just some knowledge that some women need. Could be something as simple as relaxing. But anyway, without wasting any time, let's get on with this video. I encourage you to watch through the video because I believe all 10 of these are very, very important. You may find a number of them very useful to you. The number one thing which you want to try, almost every video I mention this. I mention it extensively in my book. I think I have a whole chapter of number one in my book, Spice It Up. Communicate with your spouse. You need to communicate your feelings. Explain to him how you are feeling. This conversation has to be very intimate. It can't be in an accusatory way. You explain to him and ask him to be patient with you and to understand where you're coming from. And of course, he will definitely listen to you. That's the first thing that you want to do. You want to communicate how you're feeling when you are experiencing this pain. Is it something new? Is it every time? Or just go deep with him, okay? The second tip that I want to give you is to spend more time in foreplay and arousal. What foreplay does is it prepares your body to relax, and it produces the natural lubrication in your vajayjay, so that when things progress and it's time for penetration, you are well lubricated from the natural lubrication that your body or your vajayjay will produce. The other thing that foreplay does is it gets your body more relaxed and more prepared for your sexual experience. The next thing that you want to do, if the foreplay doesn't really seem to help, the next thing that you can try is the lubricants. You can buy lubricants. I recommend, and I always recommend this, even in my book I mention a list of some of them. You can use water-based lubricants. You can get these online or on Amazon or on any store that sells adult products, but I recommend that you get them online. They are super inexpensive, and make sure that they are water-based because you don't want anything with too many additives to it. And what I noticed about these lubricants, most of them, they actually make the experience even more enjoyable. I don't know what it is about those lubricants, but they make the experience even more enjoyable. They bring this warmth to them. Just make sure that they are water-based. I always tell people who come for advice that get the water-based ones, okay? If you get hold of my book, I actually have a chapter where I list some of my favorites, and they are super inexpensive. Some of them, they do come in a form of a jelly, and some are really liquid. You can just choose what you want and make sure again that you read the ingredients. Another thing that you can try is to experiment with different positions. And again, I mentioned this in my book. Some positions are more penetrative than other positions. For example, if you do the cowgirl position, that is definitely going to cause you some discomfort or pain, depending also on the size of the manhood. Again, I mentioned this on the chapter where I talk about positions. I also do mention what position works for what size of manhood your man has. So it's important for you to try out different positions. This again boils down to communication. Talk to your man and ask him if you could experiment with different positions. Okay, you can go on your knees. That one is less intrusive too. Or you can do the missionary, the most common one. And most women seem to prefer that one because he can also control how deep he goes into you. If you are a person who has very low tolerance to pain, maybe the cowgirl may not be for you. And if your man is well endowed, you might want to stay away from the cowgirl position. position, because that one is super intrusive unless if you know how to control it, because when you are the cowgirl, you are pretty much the one controlling how deep it goes. You might try to adjust your position, how you are positioning yourself. You also want to make sure that you try other different positions. Okay, then the other thing that you can try, yes, I am talking about the ways in which you can reduce discomfort or pain during sexual intercourse. If you are finding value in this video, please do me a favor and click that thumbs up button. It helps the algorithm, it helps other people looking for similar content to find it. So moving on to the number 5 way in which you can reduce discomfort and pain during sex, you may also want to try relaxation techniques. It's important for your body to be very relaxed, so get into the habit of training yourself to relax and be less anxious. So you want to practice relaxation techniques like taking in deep breaths and just relaxing your body, because what happens is when you are tense, when you tense up, your body is like on high alert and it's like it's fighting against what is happening. So you definitely want to make sure that you are as relaxed as possible. Relaxation definitely helps, because most people who experience pain, in most cases it's because they are tense, they are not relaxed, and they are anxious, they are worried about things, and the pain they experience, they don't know what to expect, especially if sex is very, very new to them. If they are not used to this experience, they may tense up because they are not sure of what to expect. Practice relaxation. If you're a person who meditates, do whatever meditation technique. Taking deep breaths is a natural way of relaxing. Taking deep breaths and just letting your body relax naturally, it helps a lot. It might seem like a very minute tip, but it does work and it helps a lot. Okay, my friends, moving on to number 6. Another way of reducing discomfort and pain during sex is through pelvic floor exercises. I know you're going to be hearing me talk a lot about this. I mentioned it in my book as well. You can do pelvic floor exercises. What this does, it strengthens your pelvic floor muscles through Kegel exercises. Kegels are not just for you to help stop the involuntary flow of urine. Kegels are very, very useful when it comes to sex. They will help improve your sexual health. They will even help actually improve the experience, the enjoyment. And there's something that Kegels does that just takes your sexual intercourse to another level. It does also contribute to an extent to the reduction of pain and discomfort. With the pelvic floor exercises, the good thing is you are pretty much the one in control. You are controlling them. You are exercising your pelvic floor to be stronger. The more you strengthen your pelvic floor muscles, the better for you. And not only is it good for reducing discomfort and pain, but it also increases the pleasure, especially for the men. It just drives them out of their head. I'm actually going to do a whole video on this, on how to use Kegels to drive your man out of his head. Okay, so moving on, another way in which you can reduce discomfort or pain during sex is you may need a medical evaluation, especially if this pain is very sharp and very severe and it's more than discomfort. You may definitely need to go and see your OBGYN or your primary physician, explain to them, of which probably will refer you to an OBGYN, so that they can see what is going on, especially if this discomfort or pain, it's something that you never used to experience and all of a sudden you are experiencing this pain. So you want to make sure that depending on the intensity or the severity of the pain, you may actually want to involve your doctors so that they can run tests and see what is going on with you, so that they can get to the help that you need as soon as possible. Some women actually may need a psychological evaluation. If this pain is related to the state of your mind or your psychological state, then you may need some counseling, you may need some therapy. It takes one being realistic with themselves, depending on where this pain is coming from. Is it something that is from the past, or is it something related to your mental health? If that's the case, then you may need to involve a counselor, and this way they can help you. They may give you some counseling and some therapy, and eventually with time this pain will ease off as your mind gets to a state where it is more focused on what you are doing with your husband. Okay, my sis, it is nothing to be ashamed of, but it is something that one has to say, okay, I need a psychological evaluation, so that you get get to enjoy sex once again with your spouse. Okay, and then another thing that you may want to try, my friend, is to take it slow. So you and your spouse have to deliberately take it slow, taking it slow and not just rushing into it, because at times what happens is, and this is related to lack of foreplay and lack of arousal, when a couple just rushes straight into sex without taking it nice and easy. You need to take it nice and easy and slow, and just let one thing lead to another. So taking it slow may help, taking it nice and easy and not rushing. And it helps especially if you're not a person who does not get their sex education from porn, where sex has just been demonized and it's rough and all that. Actually, it's a very, very wrong method of learning how to enjoy your sexual intimacy. You cannot learn sexual intimacy from porn, because those things are not real. So you want to make sure that you are not getting your sex education from porn, because at times that is the problem, and that can really kill the spirit in your marriage. So you want to make sure that you take it nice and slow and easy. That way you'll definitely minimize discomfort and pain. The whole goal here is to eliminate pain, so you don't want to be in pain whatsoever. And the last tip that I want to give you is, this tip here is, when you've really tried all that you can, then you may try to experiment with non-penetrative measures. You know, sexual intimacy is not all about penetration, so try other methods of enjoying each other. There are many ways in which you can try to enjoy each other. Talk to your husband, he'll be creative on how to pleasure you and how you can pleasure him without penetration. And this is only if your pain is so bad that you cannot tolerate any kind of penetration. Then you can try other things. Even cuddling at times just feels so good. Try oral sex. There's nothing wrong with that, as long as you guys agree on what to do, on what you're doing to each other. Enjoy each other and experiment, and remember that sexual satisfaction is between you and your husband. You gotta be able to satisfy one another. So yes, you may want to try non-penetrative methods of satisfying each other, and this really can help. Make sure that whatever you do, you and your husband are in agreement, and that none of you are feeling like they are being shortchanged or whatever, because it takes two. Remember, it does take two. And do you know that there are a lot of sex myths that need to be debunked? Go ahead and watch this video here that I just posted, and you will be surprised. I actually debunked 10 sex myths on that video, so you make sure you watch that video, and remember to give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss another video. And please share my video with your friends. Want to grow this community so that we can learn together. Go ahead and check out the information about my book in the description box below. By the way, you can send me a message with any sexual intimacy question that you want answered, and it's going to be answered on a future video. And I'm actually working on a freebie for you guys. Make sure that you are subscribed so that you don't miss that freebie when it comes out eventually. With that being said, thank you so very much for watching. Remember to do small things with great love. From my heart to yours. Adios. Bye bye. God bless you. You take care.